All right, we are live on Twitch and YouTube. Dex, I don't know if you can tweet those links out. It doesn't matter really if you can, if you can't. Let's see here. Let me do that. All kinds of different recordings going on here. What episode is this? 63, 62?
It doesn't matter at this point.
I will find out. It would be, good Lord, I don't even know. We've done so many of these now. 62. All right. 3, 2, 1. Welcome to the One Take Podcast, episode 62. We are joined by Deontay Ebbs of the Duo Sports and Stuff podcast. Deontay, how's it going, man?
I'm doing good. It's going well, man. Happy to be here. Happy to be joined by national champions. And
national champions and national champions only.
Yes, that's all it is, man. But yeah, thank you guys for having me on, man. Really appreciate it.
Not a problem, man. Tej will be joining us here in a little bit. So if you don't hear him off the jump, he will be joining us down the road. He's doing big boy lawyer stuff, apparently. So too good for us. This week we are talking about Falcon and the Winter Soldier, the Disney Plus banger, if you will. But first of all, Dex, how we doing? You had yourself a time and a half tonight.
Yeah, I am several sheets to the wind at this point. Went out to a Brazilian steakhouse for the first time in my life. Have you ever been to a Brazilian steakhouse? You know the vibes. I am floating and meat sweating, and I am drunk. It's just a great time. Just a wonderful time.
So this is going to be an interesting review. Falcon and the Winter Soldier. Let's go ahead and read these reviews. Of course, this was the second Marvel Disney Plus show to drop. It's a 2021 series, rated TV 14, actually, so a little bit more mature for Disney Plus, if you will, for the mouse. Has a 7.6 on IMDb. Following the events of the Avengers Endgame, Sam Wilson, otherwise known as Falcon, and Bucky Barnes, otherwise known as the Winter Soldier, team up in a global adventure that tests their abilities and their patience. Okay. Of course, it stars Anthony Mackie, Sebastian Stan, Wyatt Russell as John Walker, kind of a newcomer, Erin Kellyman. She's been in some things as sort of the main villain, Carly Morgenthau. And then Daniel Bruhl comes back as Baron Zemo. Of course, you got Emily Van Camp and Sharon Carter, and so on and so. Georges St. Pierre is in this show also, so that's kind of interesting.
Yeah, UFC legend Georges St. Pierre for whatever reason.
So this has kind of lesser reviews than WandaVision. It's still highly rated on IMDb or on Rotten Tomatoes at 88% from critics on Rotten Tomatoes, but a 73% from viewers. So the viewers, I think, didn't land. Of course, it's probably been review bombed by people being like, it's too woke. Mm-hmm. We'll get into that. We'll get into that here in a little bit. But the critics seem to like it. I liked the message that it had in it. But let's break it down. We have a lot to get to when breaking down a series. Luckily, it's shorter. It's 6 episodes short, and so it's shorter than WandaVision. So hopefully we can kind of go beat by beat. Deontay, what we do is give it a quick review and give it a letter grade. So go ahead, overall series, what you think about it, and give it at a letter grade as a whole.
Like you kind of mentioned it before, man. I enjoyed it. Of course, there are going to be some people that say certain things about not having my politics and something that I enjoy and my entertainment. But I mean, that's the world we're living in today. And so overall, I think the message of the show and what it was trying to convey was appropriate. And I feel like, it's Disney. So you're going to have, or should I say Marvel as well, they're going to have those moments where you're like, okay, I see what y'all trying to do, kind of pushing a certain agenda. But for the most part, man, I'm just happy to have content. Like after everything yeah, man, like everything we've been through the past year, over a year, and theaters shutting down and not having any kind of entertainment. I'm honestly gonna be happy with anything they drop. Of course, I'll have some gripes here and there, but man, it's MCU, it's the mouse, it's Disney. So I'm gonna give it overall though. I'll give it a B plus. There are some gripes, and I know we'll probably get into it a little bit, but I'm gonna give it a B plus, man.
It's kind of where I feel like that's kind of where we're at. But Dex, I think you ended up liking it more and more as time went on.
For sure. I at first I was like, I don't know. It ain't WandaVision. Because like
Yeah.
WandaVision, like nobody expected WandaVision to be as good as it was. We were all kind of like Wanda and Vision are both whack. Like it's not
Side
it's not gonna
characters.
be good. Yeah, we don't really like them. They were the worst part of Infinity War or whatever. And then Marvel kind of shifted the game a little bit by doing like the sitcom like homages and all that kind of stuff for each week and kind of building on that and kind of doing this really experimental thing. And then Falcon and the Winter Soldier was kind of like a throwback, like regular MCU stuff. Like
Mm-hmm.
you got your like spy shit, and you
Yeah.
got like Baron Zemo's back and Sharon Carter's back and all this other stuff. Like it felt more like traditional MCU
What we're used
stuff
to.
that
Yeah.
we're used to. Yeah. And so at first I was kind of like, I mean, I watch it every week, but like whatever. I'm just watching it because it's part of the MCU. Like I don't really care. Like Falcon and the Winter Soldier, I like their like little buddy like cop comedy thing that they do, but like I don't really care where the story is going. And then like halfway through, like 3 episodes in, they turn this shit
Yeah.
all the way up. And
Mhm.
I was like, okay, I'm on board. Like I need to watch this every single week. Like I was watching WandaVision, like waking up early Friday morning to watch it before the spoilers drop, all that kind of
Yep.
stuff. So, you know, they definitely got me as it went on. I wish it was longer than 6 episodes. The finale was a little uneven. That's the word I keep using because like there are parts of it that I was like, this is so dope. Like I love this. And there are parts of it where I was like, no, I don't know about that.
Yeah.
But yeah, overall I really enjoyed it and I'm glad that it happened. It definitely made me like Falcon becoming Captain America way more than I did watching Endgame. Watching Endgame, I was like, okay, that's cool. But
Yeah.
you know, after watching Falcon and the Winter Soldier, I'm like, oh fuck yeah, he's Captain America. Let's go. But overall, yeah, I think I'm right with you, like a B plus, A minus territory. I'd probably give it a B plus, like soft A minus.
Mhm.
I think we're all on the same page. I give it a B plus too, just because it's really uneven at parts, like you were saying, Dex. I mean, it did make me care more about characters that were really tertiary. Of course, Bucky was pretty much the focus of 2 movies, basically, in his relationship with Captain America. Now, I think Anthony Mackie and Sebastian Stan have an incredible rapport.
Fact.
I think their chemistry is off the charts. Now, they didn't play on that as much as I would have liked. I mean, there was some times where there's banter back and forth, but it wasn't the comedy that you saw in Captain America and the Winter Soldier.
Winter Soldier. Yeah.
Yeah, it was more of them actually having meaningful conversations. I still think their rapport was really good. It did make you more accepting of Falcon as becoming Captain America, and almost to the detriment of, I feel like, the Bucky Barnes character. I wish he had a little bit more to do later on in the series, but it is a Captain America story, and it's a story of, let's be honest, a Black Captain America and how it was dealt with that. And I thought that was really interesting, and it's a territory that, say what you will, Marvel has not delved into that very much.
Yeah, not at all.
Yeah, as heavy-handed, obviously, as they did with this. And you know, we interrupt this episode for a message from Falcon, so it was just kind of some of that, but it was also very well done and a story that needed to be told. And I love the integration of the Black super soldier. That story was
Isaiah
lost
Bradley.
that story was lost to the world. And I really enjoyed, everybody hated him, and that was good. I really enjoyed John Walker. I thought his character was great. Just because everyone hated him. That was the point.
Exactly. And Dane and I, my co-host, we talked about it, you know, throughout the series. Like that's what makes him so great. Like if everybody else hates you in real life, like you're doing something right with the character. And so
yeah.
It's like when we all hated Joffrey in Game of Thrones. It's like, that actor's killing it.
Exactly.
Because we think this dude is the worst person in the world. Like, and he'll never be anything other than Joffrey. Like,
yeah, I like Wyatt Russell. His looks kind of weird because he's just 2 seconds away from being his dad, but he's not. It's just a weird sort of uncanny valley with Wyatt Russell. But yeah, I thought he was great. I don't like how they finished off his character because they almost turned him, and spoiler alert for this whole thing is spoilers, by the way.
They should know by now.
Yeah, it's been out. It's been done for a week.
If you're listening to this podcast about Falcon and the Winter Soldier, you've seen that shit. Like you know.
But he was going to be some, like, he had this really evil streak in that fight in episode 5 when he almost kills Falcon and he like throws Bucky through like a steel beam and like he's screaming bloody murder and stuff like that. I was like, oh, they made this dude evil. Yeah. Like I thought they were gonna like turn that on its head. And then they kind of come back and he's like helping them at the very end and like they're high-fiving Bucky and he's doing Abraham
little
Lincoln
quips back and forth. Yeah. It was kind of weird. Definitely seeing him. I thought it would be more consequence for him when he killed that Flag Smash. By the way, man, I'm sorry, the Flag Smashers were trash, man.
Really?
I didn't understand. I mean, I guess I understand the motive of what they were trying to accomplish, but I felt like every episode she was like Carly was repeating like the same stuff, like I understand. One world, one people. Okay, and then it was like a part where she was just saying. Or the part in the finale where she was like, I don't want to kill anybody that doesn't matter. And I'm like, what? Like, I don't know. Some of the quips were weird, but I didn't like the Flag Smashers. But overall, man, it was cool.
I liked her character. I wish they could have made Zemo actually the villain. And there was parts where you felt like they were going to, but they just never really did. And I think that sets up stuff for down the road, like the Dark Avengers and what have you. Like, they're obviously doing that with Wyatt Russell's character at the very end. They make him U.S. agent, but I think the first 2 episodes, like you were saying, Dex, are very slow build. And there's a couple, like the opening set piece with Falcon where he's going around in the chopper and everything. That's really cool, and that's cool to see in a TV series too, because it's just like action budget or
incredibly high production value for a streaming show.
Thanks.
And so there's points there, and there's the fight with the super soldiers at the very beginning with all of them. But it's like Bucky goes to therapy. Like that's what it is. Or like Falcon argues about money.
Yeah,
it's kind of an interesting
broke Avengers.
Broke boy Falcon and the Winter Soldier. He's like flying to Asia and making amends with random old Asian dudes whose son he killed. And going to therapy and all this other shit. And Falcon, it's like, well, I'm poor. And my sister is also poor. And I'm black. So there's that.
It is kind of interesting to be like, oh, the Avengers didn't pay you. Like, no. Should we have been getting paid?
Yeah, who's signing the check? Who should have signed those checks back in Infinity War and Age of Ultron? We saving the world, and y'all ain't giving us no money.
Tony Stark didn't even give him dental.
Yeah,
he didn't give him shit. I don't know. Deontay, what did you think about the first couple of episodes? I know we've said it. I just said it was slow building, but I think there's value there, but I don't think they're as bad as people were making it out to be, because people were like, "Oh my god, I can't get through this." And like,
Yeah, people are with the MCU. They want action. Like, we've seen the movies, we're coming off something crazy with what happened in Endgame. And I think a lot of people, I know for me personally, I loved WandaVision, mainly because, like we talked about, these shows are going in, like they're taking the opportunities that you can't get with a 2-hour movie. And so they're building into character and building into stuff like that. And so I think that was the same with the first 2 episodes. Like we mentioned, diving into Sam and his backstory and his family in Louisiana. and then with Bucky and his therapy trainer or whatever. But I think with a lot of these shows that we're going to see, it's not going to be action heavy all the time. Like there was a lot of dialogue, a lot of character building type stuff, which I'm cool with as long as we do get those action scenes. And I think we were treated with that. So overall, the first couple of episodes building on, okay, where we are now, especially with the blip. And so like with WandaVision, we really didn't know the time period and what happened after Endgame as far as the rest of the world was more focused on her. And I like how this show kind of told us, okay, the blip happened and how is that affecting everybody in the world?
Yeah, I love that about it because WandaVision is definitely an exploration of Wanda's grief and how she's dealing with Vision being like allegedly perma-dead. Like we see he's not dead. There's a white Vision now, and he's the same, but he's not the same. And he's the ship of Theseus or whatever the fuck they were talking about. I watched that shit at like 3 a.m. But yeah,
I think I was drunk for that last episode, and I was like, "This is awesome." I don't know what they're saying.
Philosophy, amazing. I should have majored in this, but no, I shouldn't have. But yeah, so this episode was more like how the entire world dealt with what happened in Endgame, and I think there's so much value in being able to dive into that for 6 episodes of a TV show versus like 2 hours of a movie or whatever, because we get to see like, oh, so there were these camps where people were hanging out after the blip, and they felt like they were a part of this larger community that was like the entire world had just gone through this one thing, kind of like we did with COVID. Like the entire world was going through the same thing at the same time, and we felt a little bit closer to each other. Like we're all at home on Zoom meetings and shit, like just hanging out, trying not to go insane in our own homes. And the blip happened, they're like trying not to go insane because half the people they love are just vanished one day at the snap of a finger. And I think it's really good that we got to see the MCU kind of dive into that and explore that a little bit, explain that a little bit, because Spider-Man Homecoming, they talked about it like, oh yeah, some kids were in high school, they blipped for 5 years, they came back, they're the same age, they're like in school again. It's weird, whatever.
Like kid version.
He was in 8th grade when we were blipped. They do kind of, it's very minimal, but they do kind of, with the Flag Smashers and stuff like that, they do kind of dive into what a geopolitical nightmare this would be if all of a sudden, what is it, like 4 billion people came back at once?
Yeah.
You're just like, oh shit, like what do we do? Things are different now. You know what I mean?
They're gone, they're back. It's the same, but it's not the same. They were gone for like 20 seconds in their mind, but
what was that commercial they had, like reshape, rebuild?
Oh yeah,
little GNC.
and then it was like a military thing, which I thought was actually really funny and well done. They as like this, we care sort of thing.
And it was just, and then straight cut to John Walker making orders,
kicking down a door. No, I think the first 2 episodes weren't as bad. I think it was interesting to explore that. I thought the fighting set pieces, I would like, look, it's Falcon and the Winter Soldier. It if you compare it to Captain America, the Winter Soldier, probably the best,
one of my favorites.
MCU movie outside of the Avengers series. The action's not going to hold up just because that's some of the best action in any hand-to-hand combat, all that stuff. It's just not going to hold up. And these do have movie budgets, but it's just not the same. And I would have liked there to be more action, but the things that we got, I thought were really good. Like the bus fight, or the truck fight, and of course
the 18-wheeler fight where they're like going back and forth, and like this little girl's kicking your ass. Like, I thought that was those great character moments.
Yeah, I thought that was really good. Now, the exploration of you shouldn't have given up the shield kind of got heavy for me. I kind of got a little annoying because it's like, but I guess it explains it in further detail what the shield means as a symbol going on. But at the very beginning, you're like, who the fuck about the shield?
Yeah.
Like, you know what I mean? Like, Who cares? But apparently stadiums full of people do. But
you know what? That I thought that part was that beginning of episode 2, man. I think we had talked about it, Dane and I on our podcast. We're like, man, they got a new Captain America. It's like, how do we get people to like this guy? You know, they're used to Steve, but hey, we got this guy now. How do we get them to like him? Oh yeah, we put him in a stadium. We have a HBCU band. You know what I'm saying? Like, we'll do the full blown Good Morning America rollout. Like it. I feel like if that was like a real situation in real life, like that's how they would want to roll out Captain America. Like,
yeah, Twitter would have been like, this is lame.
Carpool karaoke.
Yeah, I see what y'all doing. Like,
Twitter. You know what's funny is Twitter would have reacted the exact same way as they did actually watching the show, which was, who the hell is this guy?
Yeah, fake Cap.
Yeah.
Great America Cap.
Not my Captain America.
Yeah. Great value Cap.
One of the YouTubers that I follow who like is into all this like superhero stuff. He always called him Party City Cap. Like he was in a costume. I was like, that's so accurate. Like, yeah, he looks like he got a Captain America costume in Party City. It was like, I'm Captain America.
And then when he made the shield like, at the end, the trash can shield.
That we'll talk about that later on. But the it's like, can we have Steve Rogers? We have Steve Rogers at home, and it's just
yeah.
Yeah, so I they would roll that out, but I was sitting there thinking like, man, I'm not paying for a ticket to go see this dude talk in the middle of a football field. I don't care.
I'm not going to a pep rally as a grown man. Like, I'm sorry.
And they have like who's selling like the Captain America merch? Like the U.S. government? Is that coming from the Pentagon? Like what's going on there?
The U.S. government just being so ready to be like, okay, Sam gave us a shield, bet we like put up the Indeed post, like put up the LinkedIn post. We're finding a new Captain America. We are ready. We need somebody to take the shield from us.
And I just thought, I mean, obviously he becomes a super soldier later, but it is funny to watch like just a regular dude be like throwing a shield around, like, well, who cares, man?
Yeah. His confidence went down so low when he got whooped by the Dora Milaje.
Yeah.
That was when the show really took off for me. I know some people were like, episode 3 was amazing, blah blah blah, but I was like, I don't really feel anything in episode 3. But in episode 4, when John Walker starts to spiral,
yeah,
he's like, these just regular ass black women just whoop my ass. They're not even super soldiers. They're just black women who fight a lot and they beat the shit out of me.
You know, he was really going through it when he started rubbing his head. He's like, like, you know, he going through it. Then that's when you start.
He got fucking Sam is sitting there sipping tea, like, yo, you getting your ass whooped. Like, damn.
He got tuned up multiple times before he took that super soldier serum. Even then, he had a tough time. Like, aren't you like a elite soldier? Like, right? Can't fight for shit.
Yeah, Killmonger was like putting in work, like just as a regular ass dude, but you just no hands.
2-piece.
And that's something I got to ask y'all about. So there was an article that came out. I don't remember which like online thing it was. I think it was like Very Smart Brothers or whatever who put out this article, but that Sam has 0 hands. Sam cannot fight. He begins his ass kicked all the time. So how did y'all feel like watching him like become Captain America? No super soldier serum, no nothing. Just a regular ass dude. This who be out there getting his ass kicked. Deontay, what you think about?
Yeah, Deontay, I answered because I have just kind of a thought on all of that.
Man, so Falcon, when he first came into the MCU, I felt like it was always like that for him. He had the wings, he had Red Wing, you know, but we never really saw him go ham on the hand-to-hand combat. So seeing it in the show, I wasn't surprised, but like, I'm like, man, Get this dude some help. Like when Bucky called or, you know, got the favor from the Dora Milaje for his suit or whatever, I'm like, man, yeah, take advantage. I was hoping that they would give him like a vibranium. I don't know if the suit's made of vibranium or not, but I'm like giving him something else to help this dude because he needs it.
Yeah, he need that like T'Challa shit to like charge up when you get hit, so you can hit back,
absorb the blows. Yeah,
yeah. Something. I thought. I thought they should have had him take the super soldier serum. I'm sorry, like I guess that's kind of the point, is that anybody can be Captain America if your heart's in the right place. But
if you believe in the American dream,
yeah, that whole song and dance. But I think they should have had him take the super soldier serum, because he's like, nah, I wouldn't take it. I'm like, why? Like, why not?
like you're a good person.
And apparently, isn't it supposed to make you more of who you are? So
yeah,
he's always been a good guy. So it would fit.
Yeah, they talked about Steve Rogers was like uncorrupted by the serum and all that because he was just such a good person, which like is true. We literally saw that in the first Avenger, or movie that Royden hates, but I love.
I rewatched it to catch my wife up on it, so she would know what was going on. I'm like, yeah, I don't. It's okay, but compared to the Winter Soldier and Civil War, Civil War is probably my favorite one out of all the MCU movies. But yeah,
compared to Civil War and Winter Soldier, that shit is like a silent film. That shit is boring.
I just love. I'm a sucker for all that. Like, he's a good person. He got the superpowers, and now he's like in a better person. Shit. Like I am the sucker that Disney is like, we're just gonna give you every MCU piece of content that we possibly can.
It is
and
good.
You will eat that shit up, and I will eat that shit up.
It is good to go back and watch it though, to like kind of see how far they've come. Like,
they got better.
Yeah, exactly. Because I think that one was directed by Joss Whedon, and like when the Russo brothers took over, that kind of like sent that rocket off. But yeah,
no, so I just think he should have taken the super soldier serum. They should have given it to him or whatnot, because it's like he is now Captain America. Like, spoiler alert again, like he is now Captain America. So he's flying around with he's flying, and he has the shield. So apparently the shield is like an extra sort of weapon or power thing. And of course he's like an elite soldier. So there's that, but he's going to get his ass whooped. Like Bucky could whip his ass
whooped over and over. And like this little girl's whooping his ass. Like, she has super soldier serum in her, but like, damn, man.
Yeah, I just think we had to, like, Steve got his ass whooped by Thanos, you know what I mean? And he's a super soldier. Like, Thanos would rip in half.
For sure.
Like, I don't I just think it's kind of, you're going to have to find a way to give him extra power other than like a heart of gold, because it's just,
I'm thinking now that you say that, since they announced, did y'all see they announced the Captain America 4 with him? Yeah. So I'm thinking, like, the way we're talking about how he don't have the serum, they got to keep it grounded, man. They can't be he can't be fighting no aliens from outer space. It's got to be grounded.
He gonna be fighting Sharon Carter.
Facts. Hey, and she gonna give him the business too.
she gave a whole regimen the business in episode 3, and we're supposed to believe that the dude with wings is gonna fuck her up. No,
Sharon Carter about to tear his ass up, bro. But I have a question though, since you mentioned Endgame and Thanos and all that. Do you think Sam could lift Mjolnir?
No.
Hell no.
His heart ain't that gold. He's not worthy.
He not ready yet, man.
Nah, just the hammer is racist. That's so
they gotta give him something though, bro. Ain't no way he's just gonna be out here a regular ass dude with wings. Like,
regular.
The Batman of the fucking MCU.
I mean, and I think that's what they're going to have to do. And we're about to be joined by Tej, joining us after doing important lawyer shit.
Oh my God. Hey, everybody, sorry I'm late.
No, you're good.
What up?
We're talking about Tej, him making Winter Soldier, or not Winter Soldier, then making Captain America, Falcon into Captain America, how he's just a regular dude. I keep using that term, but like, he's gonna get whooped by somebody. You know what I mean?
No super soldier
gonna
serum,
get cooked.
No powers. He's just a regular ass dude.
Yeah,
he's gonna get fucking smoked, bro. They're not gonna let him get smoked by like a regular villain, like a small villain that they're gonna kill off at the end of the movie or end of the series or whatever. But when the big bad comes, when the next Thanos or whoever the next big bad is, there's gonna be a scene where Anthony Mackie is running out at the front of battle and he's gonna get absolutely smoked. And we're gonna be like, we saw that coming. I guess it makes sense, but it's not gonna be fun for him.
Because this man was getting his ass kicked the entire series. Like,
Bro, he was getting whooped by Carly Morgenthau. Like, come on, bro.
Carly Morgenthau, the Dora Milaje.
Come on, bro.
Like, Zemo would have gave him that work hand to hand. Zemo would have shot his ass.
Just like an Indiana Jones scene. Like he's trying to fly at him and just shoots him.
Him and Bucky together barely beat MAGA Cap. Like, it's not gonna be pretty good by himself. Like, come on, bro.
Zemo keep the thing on him. One thing about Zemo is he always ready. He stays strapped.
Zemo, man, like he really grew on me throughout the episode or throughout the series, man. I wanted more of him. Like, I wish they would have used him more, but I think we'll see him more later on down the road.
He was great. He did a great job.
He's gonna be in it. TJ, I guess it's a little late, but you're joined us now. We talked about kind of the first 3 episodes, but as a whole, what would you give the series?
I give it a solid B. It was enjoyable. I had no real feelings towards Falcon as a character. I don't. You also don't like Anthony Mackie at all. I hate Anthony Mackie. And I like Sebastian. What's his last name? Whatever his last name is. Yeah, I like him a lot. But I wasn't like super invested into the Bucky character, so I was a bit nervous about watching it. But after, I also wasn't really invested in Wanda or Vision, and that show turned out great. And so I was like, "Fuck it!" Like, I'm just gonna watch. I'm just gonna trust them. And I thought it was good. I love the Isaiah Bradley stuff. That was really dope. Mm-hmm. But some of the social commentary stuff got a bit clunky, especially at the end of the series. Like, that stuff was,
I know exactly what you're talking about.
And like the cop pulling up on him in episode 2, like, that's a bit clunky. Like, this whole speech that he's giving the senators is a bit clunky. Like, and it's like, you appreciate that they're trying to get these important issues into the show. Sometimes it worked, sometimes it didn't. I thought it worked more when it was just Isaiah Bradley talking with Falcon. I thought that worked really well. When Falcon was talking to the senators, that didn't work so well for me. But like, I respected what they were trying to do. It is pretty cool to hear the story of Isaiah Bradley and Black Captain America. That was dope as hell. I enjoyed it. The action was cool. I'll give it a B. I enjoyed it. It was fine. I never once considered like not watching the show, so they did their job.
Hey, it's Black Falcon. What are you, black kid? Is what
that was. I hated that so much. That sounded like Anthony Mackie's ad-lib that they kept it, bro. I didn't like that shit.
Yeah, that sounded like some Core Ball Brothers shit. But like, I will say though, like, I really appreciated them like going there. Like, they were like, we just made a black dude Captain America in Endgame. We gotta talk about that shit, right? And like, I appreciate them like not shying away from it. Like, oh, he's just Captain America now. Everybody's happy with it. Like, it's cool.
Yay.
Like, no, it would not be cool. Yeah. Like, so I appreciate them like being honest about that and like talking about it at all. And like you said, it was clunky at times. They didn't get it right 100% of the time, but these white people don't know what the fuck they're doing when it comes to talking about race and these kind of
half the American populace would be like, I didn't vote for him.
Yeah.
Not my cap.
That ain't my cap.
I was just about to say that.
But yeah, like them, they shot like 50-75% from the field, like on the race stuff, and like that's really all you can ask for from Kevin Feige. Like, I think
this was written. Let me double check. I think this was written by a black man.
Malcolm Spellman, I believe, right? Or is
word?
Yeah, give me 1 second. I'm sorry, but it was directed all 6 episodes by Carrie Scoglin, who has done a lot of The Handmaid's Tale and things like that. And then it was written by Derek Kolstad, who is actually, he's a comic book writer, but yeah, Malcolm Spellman, who is African American.
I think he's doing the Captain America 4 script too. Yeah, from what I saw. Yeah.
I'm excited to see what a Captain America. That's a high bar. Those Captain America movies are really good.
Yeah. I was saying earlier before you got on, I was like, because we were talking about how Falcon didn't have no hands, so we was like, man, in this Captain America 4, it's gonna have to be the most grounded villain. Can't be no alien. Can't be nobody from outer space. It ain't gotta be hella grounded because
It's gonna be.
Yeah.
It needs to be a crazy human with maybe a couple guns, but not more going on than that. Like
He would get worked by John Wick.
Yeah, we don't need. It needs to be a villain that's just like an everyday dude with no powers, that's just pissed off, and Falcon can try, or the new Captain America can try to reason with him. That's Captain America 4. Try to reason with him, bro. That's the movie.
Captain America 4 identity theft.
Yeah, Counselor Cap.
It's gonna be Sam Wilson talking to Sharon Carter like, "Hey man, your mom was with the shits. Like, why are you acting a fool, bro?
What the
like,
hell happened?
Your honor, whatever the fuck, would be like, yo, what the fuck is wrong with you?
I thought we could trust you.
Think about Peggy Carter, bro. What?
Captain America 4 jaywalking.
Anybody from outer space comes into that film and it's over for
a wrap,
Mackie, bro. It's a wrap. So leave them in space.
The fucking bank executives from the 2008 crash. You give out loans and people can't pay for it. What is wrong with you?
You have a bonus, motherfucker. There was, I thought Mackie was good. I think the monologue at the very end was very clunky. I think he's a decent actor, but I think that was just a little bit too much, or
little
beyond. Yeah, well, but even a little bit, even beyond his range. I think Sebastian Stan, to me, is the better actor by far. Or he was very good at conveying emotion, I felt, or kind of tortured guy dealing with this stuff. Maybe that was a little ham-fisted too, a little bit, but I thought the brooding character, and then whenever he was able to provide, he's just a cool dude, honestly. On top of all that, like I thought he was really good. I thought he was my favorite part of the show, but I kind of enjoy the Bucky character a lot.
He better be a major part of Cap 4, and then I can see it being amazing, because I don't just want to spend a bunch of time with Anthony Mackie, respectfully. Like you're gonna need the Bucky or somebody to really balance out just an aggressive amount of Anthony Mackie. And at times in the show when you really were with Anthony Mackie for 20 minutes, you were just like, listen, like we got to pan away. Like we got to do something. So
I feel like you can't separate them at this point after giving them a whole show. Like,
facts. Put them together.
Like
keep them together.
They're together. And I think their buddy like dynamic works. Like we saw that, and I think it was Civil War, where they had like a couple scenes, like just them two together.
Them fighting Spider-Man is hilarious.
Yeah,
I just watched that again too.
Hilarious.
They go together. Like, leave them together. That's fine. Like, even Bucky like flirting with Sam's sister and all that. I was like, that was great
hilarious.
Content.
I thought that was really funny.
Keep them together at all costs.
And Disney's aware of this, right? So you go back to Black Panther, and it's not because Chadwick is a bad actor. He's a great actor, but like the character of Black Panther, there's not much they could have done with him for 2 hours. Like if it was just about him roaming around, like you had to really build this world around him and introduce all these other characters to take a little bit of the pressure off of them, because there's not much that they've been doing with the Black Panther character, but we can make the Black Panther universe really cool. And that's what they did. Like they just put a whole bunch of really interesting characters around him, a bunch of great actors and actresses around them, and boom, you got a great movie. Chadwick does a great job, but he's not on screen for an hour and a half, right? Like the movie's just kind of jumping around. That's how Cap 4's got to be. You just got to build around, have a lot of Bucky, a lot of Cap, but didn't spend a lot of time with the villains and spend a lot of time with all the other people and these people's lives at the time.
They can do a lot if they make that movie like a Sharon Carter, like Sam Wilson movie. Like
I'm into that.
If they dive into a lot of like what made Sharon Carter go rogue or whatever, they can do a lot with that.
That could be a movie they can do a lot with.
Definitely interested to see, like, of course they didn't show it on screen, like how I don't even remember. Y'all can correct me. Did she get blipped in Endgame? Because I'm trying to figure out. Like,
no,
she was a part of that.
She didn't, because that's how she became like the underground kingpin or whatever.
That's how she rose to power.
Yeah, that's the part I was confused on, because I'm like, damn, like, did we see her get blipped? I'm like trying to figure out the timeline of her deciding to, go
then
that
she was
way.
exiled by the U.S. government after helping them escape. But TG mentioned it, and we can get back to the show in like 2 seconds. But I just had to make this point: the Captain America character. I mean, it's kind of like the Superman character, where you have kind of the Superman problem, but Marvel figured it out, where it's like the first movie. Let's be honest. I know Dex, you love it, but it's not better than the two following Captain America movies. And they basically figured out, we're just going to make these kind of Avengers movies also. So Winter Soldier obviously has a great villain, but then they put in Black Widow. They put
Black
in
Widow's
Falcon.
just like right there the whole time.
Yeah,
People always want to see the team ups.
Yeah,
sure.
they put in Black Widow.
Yeah.
They put in Falcon, and they just have those in there. And then Civil War, it's
every fucking
it's Avengers. It's an Avengers movie.
Oh yeah.
And so like everyone is in that movie. So I think they figured out, okay, we can make this a Captain like America story, but the character, nobody like we care about the character of Iron Man because he's an interesting guy. Like Steve Rogers wasn't an interesting dude, to be honest. So it's just kind of
he's just good. Like,
yeah,
he's good.
Just a wholesome 102-year-old. Like
Good
he
man.
was just
a good
you know,
man.
Boy Scout from he's the Boy Scout from World War II, but he's not racist. So here's his black friend. See,
he has a black friend.
yeah. He's listening to the Temptations albums and everything else.
Marvin Gaye, all that.
So moving back on into the series, I really liked episode 3 when they went to try and find the power broker. That was kind of the funniest episode, I feel like, especially when they have Anthony Mackie dress up like an African warlord and that whole rapport there, and that
was funny.
I thought it was really funny. And then the rapport with Zemo and them fighting back and forth and being basically like, fuck you, no, fuck you, and stuff like that. Like, we're not letting you out of a sight. I thought that was really good. But then the action set piece where Sharon Carter's beating the brakes off of everybody in that, what do you call it?
Fucking shipyard.
Yeah, the shipyard.
Yeah.
Yeah. I thought that was really good action and stuff
She was
like
whooping
that.
ass on that scene.
Mm-hmm. And I thought it was funny because they're all just like, they're holding a gun to this poor scientist's head, and she's like, guys, we gotta go. And they're just like letting her cook outside.
Took them all down.
Yeah.
And that was where I was like, so we all agree Sharon Carter's the
You
the
did
power
tweet.
broker,
You
right?
did tweet that. Yeah.
Like, yeah, like we all see this, right? Like that's what they're doing. And then the finale is like, yeah, she's the power broker. I was like, okay, they didn't do anything with that at all.
They definitely got me because I think there was a part, maybe it was in episode 3 where Zemo was like, yeah, I knew the power broker. And he was like saying all these he pronouns. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So I'm like, okay, so it can't be Sharon. So I'm like, did he lie? Like that part I kind of didn't understand. Like
maybe he's just dumb.
Yeah.
They kind of play like he's like super smart sociopath, but also they kind of play him dumb too. They dumb him down a little bit.
And he's rich. Apparently, like we talking about how they were how Falcon and the Avengers all broke, but Zemo over here chilling on
in jail, still got money.
Yeah.
Also, the easiest escape from prison ever. He just set off a fire alarm and was able to walk out.
Yeah. Hey, apparently Zemo's a super genius who's also rich and keep that thing on him. So
yeah,
how did he get in jail in the first place?
And he's hilarious.
So episode, what's funny is that half of this stuff, it's almost like they didn't have as much budget as you think, because half of it is like Sam isn't even in his wingsuit for like 2 or 3 episodes.
Yeah,
you know, put it on.
John Walker broke that shit, and they were like, "Okay, we're just not gonna think about that for a week."
Bro."
Even the middle episodes. Sorry, even the middle episodes, like when they're fighting in the shipyard or whatever, he just has a gun and like a
pimp suit and a gun.
What I thought was so funny, man. I think what was episode 5 when Fake Cat fought Falcon and Bucky, when John Walker pulls Falcon's like wings off. He's like, like it's actually a part of his body. I'm like,
that don't hurt you. That's a machine, bro.
Yeah, he's like,
Like, this ain't got nothing to do with you, bro. Like, anybody can have these wings on right now. Like, you just,
it's not your limb, bro.
So episode 4 is the one that everybody wants to talk about, mostly because Captain America, or the dude that was playing MAGA Cap, as Teach said, was killed a man in broad daylight.
Wait, I thought that was 5. Wait,
no, it was episode 4.
Into 4.
Okay. The end of 4, because they kill off the sidekick. Just he went out so sad.
They fridged a black man in a show that had something to do with race. They literally fridged a black character, which I thought was an extremely strange decision. Like,
and he died like it's just such a bitch made way. Like you got you got punched into a pillar and get out of here.
That's why regular regular people can't fight super soldiers because he just got his back cracked in half when he
All
got
he did was take a punch. Like that just happened. I just saw that happen in UFC to like 20 people. None of them died. This guy took a punch and died because he fought a super soldier. That's why Captain America can't be fighting people that are super soldiers. He's gonna go outside, bro.
I was like, bro, you did all this shit to like break out of these like handcuffs, zip ties they had you in. Like you were tied up, not in the fight at all, and you broke out. Took one punch, and you dead. Like
Back,
you
bro.
need to stay tied up, bro.
Also, John Walker just going off on the first person. I'm gonna what's his name? I was gonna say
I forgot the
Sure.
white dude's name he killed. But it definitely wasn't
Nico?
the person.
Nico,
Yeah.
yeah.
It definitely wasn't Nico who killed Lamar, but he was just like, fuck it.
And what's funny about that?
just
I
a
don't know if
Liam
y'all-
Neeson special. The first person I see.
Yeah. The Liam Neeson special.
He was just like the first person I see, I'm
Holy
killing. And
shit.
he just followed whatever guy out of there, and the guy was like, no, wait.
What's funny? I don't know if y'all noticed, but like at the beginning of the episode, Nico's talking with Carly, I think, and he's like, "Yeah, I grew up looking up to Captain America," and I'm like, "Bro, he went out the same way.
He went out looking up to Captain America.
Yeah, the same way. Literally went out the same way." I'm like, "Damn, Marvel."
I'm
That's
not gonna
an
lie.
extremely trash way to die. That's the
Dark.
I got two things
Yeah.
to say about that.
Don't kill me that way, bro.
One, I will literally never forget how I felt watching this man like kill somebody with a shield, like split that dude in half with the shield from Captain America. Like I was like, the MCU fucking went there. Like this is not some shit we would ever got in a movie. Like this is not something the MCU would normally do. I was like, this is some dope.
Boy was
Shit.
twitching and everything.
Yeah,
The shield was covered in blood and he had roid rage. That shit was fire.
in
That
front of
shit was
everybody,
so
bro.
fire. In front of everyone.
Everybody
what's-
out there, like on fucking Instagram Live,
just
like
camera
hey,
phones,
Captain
just like-
America. They got
That's how I knew Carly
somebody.
wasn't real because Carly just sat there and watched the shit like everybody else.
Yeah.
Carly
Bro, you're a super
Morgenthau,
soldier. Go slam this nigga, bro.
Watch your homie die. Like
Just watch your homie go outside. For some
When-
shit that you did. You did it. You killed his best friend and then you watch your homie die.
your
One world,
homies
one people.
Die, you'll never slide. It ain't adding up.
Yeah,
One world, one people.
just 100 people out there with camera phones on YouTube Live were just like, oh,
That's your mask? You gonna let your mask? You gonna let your mask go out like this?
no,
Yeah.
I just thought the
Also-
comedy of it. That I just wait. It's just like
I cannot blame dude for like, hey, we got it. The ops got one, we gotta get one back. Like I feel you, on that, bro. Like,
The ops got
I
one.
don't
We
care
gotta get
who
one
it
back.
is.
we gotta get one back. Like we can't let them score on us. They got one, we gotta get one.
He told his homie family that he got him too. Like he's like, did you kill him?
Yeah, don't
Like,
worry.
yeah.
I got him.
Yeah, I got him. I got him.
I ain't get nobody.
yeah, they just got some right hand man. They're
Yeah.
just like, I don't know.
You got
And
somebody in the Captain America fan club. He ran up on him. And killed him.
Can I have your autograph? Fuck! No, I thought that was really really dark, but it also made me think it's like they always kind of play like, oh, Captain America doesn't like really, or they don't really kill anybody in the Marvel movies or whatever. But then I realized it was like, no, he's like nailing people in these other movies with this shield and like kicking them out of airplanes and shit. Like
They don't
Yeah.
show them dying, but some
Yeah,
of those
yeah.
people
Captain
that
America
see
has
with them
killed
with-
Oh yeah.
Hundreds of
hundreds of people.
Yeah, I
Oh,
was
in the
watching-
first
I was
Avenger, he
like-
came out with that handgun when he came through the
Oh yeah, he did
Oh, he
come out the
blasting,
handgun.
straight blasting.
I was like, yo, all these people are military. They kill on the regular. Like,
Oh,
they
yeah.
don't- no, they feel nothing about killing people. Like that's just what they do. Like so.
I really thought that was immediately as soon as Maga Cap is introduced in episode 1, everyone hated him. Like all the viewers hated him. But Disney didn't. It's not like Disney like made it like this is the villain. They didn't present him. They literally presented him as like the all-American boy. They showed you he had a black wife to try to make you like him a little bit more. They showed you had a black best friend, but everybody was just like, nah, this dude has bad vibes. Like, I don't know what he's gonna do yet, but
Yeah.
I don't
He
like
looked
this dude's
racist.
vibes. Like he just looked racist. And so like I just commend them on the casting of just like this dude comes on screen. They know what it means to see somebody else wearing that uniform to all the fans who've been seeing Steve wear it for all these years. And literally immediately we're just like, nah, I don't fuck with this dude.
Yeah.
I don't fuck with this dude. I can't tell you why, but this nigga's up to something.
Not my cap.
Not my cap, bro. They just did such a good job with the whole character. They did such a good job with that whole storyline, which really was great, but they did such a bad job with the Flag Smasher storyline. So that's like, again, that's clunky. Like the whole storyline was stupid.
That's what I was saying earlier too about the Flag Smashers.
That shit was
they said when they casted Wyatt Russell, they weren't going to cast him, and then they go, he has like a unique energy, is what they said about. They love the unique energy that he brought to.
He has a punchable face, and they knew that.
Yeah, and they were just like
punchable face.
They're just like, people are really gonna hate this guy, is what they were saying. And like people have liked Wyatt Russell in other roles and stuff like that. But yeah, there was definitely like as soon as they saw him with the Captain America mask, they're like, ugh.
Immediately hateable. And it's like it's so visceral. It's not just like adults that are having that reaction, because you got to remember, kids are watching these movies and these TV shows. Even kids were just, my nephews are like, what are they, 14 now? And they were just like, nah, we don't fuck with that guy. Like it's like a visceral level. Everybody watching was just like, nah, this ain't Captain America. I can't tell you why yet, but this dude is not Captain America. Like it's just they did such a great job with that whole from start to finish. I really enjoyed that storyline.
But I thought, and moving into episode 5 though too, I thought the politics of, yeah, you cannot be Captain America anymore. We just saw you murder a man on live TV. It was just kind of,
you did way too much, my friend.
Yeah, it was really.
We murder our people in private. We do not murder our people in front of cameras.
Yeah, we don't do this on fucking Periscope. Like, relax.
Even though the Avengers and all the superheroes have killed millions of people by this point, like you can't do that shit when everybody's watching.
Sokovia is just no more.
Yeah. If New York City's like burning down and there's a fight everywhere, you can kill some. You could be fine, but you can't just kill some when there's no one else fighting around you and everybody's watching you. You can't just bludgeon a dude with a shield, especially when he's holding his hands up like, "No, stop! It wasn't me." Like it's just a bad optics. It's horrible optics,
bro. Can you imagine being on Instagram Live like while Sokovia's in the air, like, yo, the whole city,
Sokovia's literally floating.
Hit that subscribe button to stay tuned for more. Like, yo, Sokovia's in the fucking sky, bro.
And then some news station of like, hey, can we have permission to use your video for our
Hey, can we use that video?
We'll credit you.
Yeah,
we'll tag you. I know Sokovia is like 2 miles in the air right now, but yeah, we'll tag you on Facebook and let us use your
We'll give you credit, get your followers up.
Oh my God. I just think the politics of that, and then him freaking out in front of Congress was actually really good acting though too, because I really like that thing. But going all the way back to the beginning of the episode, that fight between the three of them, I think is the best. I think it's one of the best fights in any Marvel thing ever. That fight was so visceral and like tough. I don't know, that fight was great.
They literally showed us his arm being snapped. They don't show us stuff like that in the movies. Like you don't see stuff like that. Even in Civil War, where you have superheroes fighting superheroes, you didn't just, other than I guess when Rhodey like got paralyzed, you don't see like.
I thought Rhodey
we
was going there.
Saw his arm break. Like I was like, God damn, this shit is weird.
And you know what's funny is Sam was like out of the fight for half the things. So it felt like Bucky was having to like do work on that dude and try.
Because he ain't had no hands.
Listen, bro, if you got super serum and it's me and you against the ops, I need you to do most of the work against the ops.
You got soldier serum.
You have a metal arm and you have
the vibranium joint,
on,
bro.
Yeah.
Like,
you should be cooking this dude. I should be able to chill. I should be able to just watch. Like you should be cooking this dude.
He just took super soldier serum like a week ago. You done had this shit for like 6 years. Your shit should have been like multiplied. Like, yo.
And the metal arm.
You got the vibranium arm, bro. Like, can't nobody get this shit other than you.
Deontay, what do you think about that fight?
Bro, that was probably my favorite scene of the show. Just like choreography, hand-to-hand combat, and like with Bucky, I think towards the end or at the end of the fight where he threw the shield down, he's like, hey, man, like in my mind, he's telling Sam, now don't give this away again. Like handing him the shield, dropping it there. Yeah. But I don't even think he did it in this fight, but this is kind of off topic. My favorite thing with Bucky, like if something happens to his arm where he does the little like arm.
Oh, the reset, little arm
like,
reset. I love that.
That's so fire. But man, yeah, overall, then they did like the Dudley Boys with the shield.
I was gonna say they give that Dudley Boys. They give him a Dudley Boys 3D.
Yeah,
Just like...
that part was clean. But yeah, overall, man, like definitely one of my favorite scenes of the show.
I thought that finishing move was something straight out of WWE.
Yeah, facts.
Like Bucky picked him up and he flew with the shield and they slammed him against it. I was like, oh, I was in my I had to rewind it. Like,
and I was like, yo, it's the beginning of the episode. Like, we just started.
Yeah.
Like,
Word. I was like, where are we going after this? Like, we literally seeing the final fight in the beginning of episode 5. Like,
no, I thought that was really good. I thought the coldest line too is he goes, y'all don't want to do this, and he just looked at, yeah, we do. I thought that was cold.
He definitely still fighting for Steve, bro. Like he loves Steve.
Do it for Little Saint.
Yeah.
But then you know, Falcon picking up the shield and like crying and like wiping it off. I was like, okay, and that was kind of interesting. But and then they basically the rest of the episode is like Pimp My Ride Boat Edition. It's just like
man, what, bro? What? Yeah, I was like, okay,
like a team.
All right, they fixing it up.
Boat.
We still fixing it up.
Building exercise. Like, hey, the whole community, y'all been looking at the shitty boat for 2 years, but you know. You want to help? You know I'm a superhero, bro. Like
I'm literally an Avenger and I saved the world from Thanos. Did you know that, guys? Like, come on, bro, please.
And I'm broke, so come on.
And
bro.
I'm broke as fuck. Come on, please, guys.
Yeah, I saved your asses, and I still live here. So, like, help me out, please.
I love how they basically made his family in New Orleans, just because, like, that's where they can film for cheap. Yeah, like Georgia and New Orleans. But anyway, yeah, and then there's basically like Bucky and Sam fix a boat, and Bucky hits on his sister.
Incredible content, though. Like Bucky just doing random shit.
I always thought Bucky liked black
Yeah.
women. They confirmed it. We knew Bucky was into black women when he was over in Wakanda, bro. They don't call him the White Wolf for nothing. They don't call him the White Wolf.
Hey, bro, the black women are into him too. Like
they love him.
With it in real life in the MCU, like they will give it up for Sebastian Stan. So
that's why that date didn't work. He went on in the show because she wasn't black, and that date wasn't gonna work, bro. You know what you want.
Speaking of that, like I was my fiance is real into this show, and I was like, "Why are you so into this show?" And you're like, "Sebastian Stan." I was like, "Oh, okay."
Oh,
okay.
Well, yeah, that makes sense.
Thanks. I thought that was great, kind of rapport building and stuff like that, and that kind of gave us like the Bucky Sam content we were looking for. Especially, it's just like, oh, Bucky's strong as shit. Like, yeah, and that whole thing. But then they just had like the Rocky training montage of Sam doing flips and shit in his front yard.
In his front yard.
I'm not gonna lie to you though. At that point, I was like, I'm with it. Like I'm on board.
We're doing somersaults and
you got this shield back. You try to, you gotta fuck with, like, you gotta kind of freak that shit a little bit. You gotta be able to toss it and like get it back,
get the weight of it.
Like,
how much is weight?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Am I gonna be able to do this move?
I don't. Very important scene because it's the first time that the viewers are like, oh, okay. This is Sam as Captain America. Like now he's doing the flips. Now he's got the shield. We have to buy that montage. If we don't buy that montage, the whole thing kind of falls apart. So we have to buy that montage.
Steve Rogers was just kind of just doing that shit. Like as soon as he got the shield, he had the super soldier serum already before they gave him the shield and all that. So like, we were just kind of on board. Like, okay, you got the shield. You throw it at Red Skull or whatever. Okay, cool. But yeah, like Falcon, he had to kind of earn it. Like, I know a lot of people when they saw Endgame, they were like, "Oh, why didn't he give the shield to Bucky? He should have gave the shield to Bucky. Like, why is Falcon getting it?" And then this whole show was kind of, this is why Falcon got it. Now you get it. Now you understand.
This is why it didn't go to Bucky. And then
Bucky needs antidepressants, so like he can't.
Yeah, Bucky's got to focus on his own personal work. You don't have time to be nobody's Captain America.
The that we got to go back to because it's so important. The Isaiah Bradley stuff. First of all, that dude is in shape. Holy shit. He's like 60 years old. That dude was built.
He was jacked.
But yeah, when they pan out to him for the first time and he's just a big barrel-chested dude, I was like, whoa, okay. And then he like punches a hole in the wall and was picking up trees and shit. That was kind of interesting. And then his whole backstory, his whole backstory was really cool, or not cool, but it was really eye-opening and necessary. It's like, because then it's like, oh, they put me in prison for doing the exact same thing, or not.
I was just gonna say that
lab testing facility or what have you, for doing the exact same thing. So I thought that was a very interesting.
Same shit that Steve did, man.
Same stuff. I was watching it, catching up for my wife and stuff, and so when we got to that specific scene in the show or in the movie when he, goes and rescues the POWs, I'm like, yeah, now compare it to that, like how Isaiah Bradley did the exact same thing, and always it went back to what the theme of the show, what Marvel was trying to convey, like with race and people not understanding certain things like that.
I thought it was really kind of funny, the interesting backstory that there is a backstory that Isaiah Bradley and Bucky fought a long time ago too. Like, I want to see that. Give me that movie.
I was hoping that we would see that scene in this show of seeing the Isaiah Bradley versus Bucky fight. That shit would have been fire.
So yeah, that's a really important moment. And then let's talk about the last episode, because it was, for me, very uneven. I thought the action set pieces were incredible. I don't like the way that they just killed Carly. They make her out to be this big bad super soldier throughout the entire thing. Like, she's whipping ass and like fighting Bucky hand to hand, and like,
and then she just gets shot.
Yeah.
That's it. Why did nobody shoot her before? Like, what were y'all doing?
What's the whole super soldier serum if you can just get shot?
I like that actress, and they didn't give her they gave her nothing to do. Like, I thought there was the potential, and maybe it was, to give them credit, maybe that part of the storyline was much cooler before they took out the vaccine part of it. They took out the whatever it was that they thought people might think it's an allusion to COVID or the vaccine, so they had to go edit it. Maybe that's why it just came off so dry. But like, they didn't do anything with that character, and it just sucked because when she died, I felt nothing, because it was like, well, I mean, I knew she was gonna die. Like, it doesn't matter. I'm more worried about what's going to happen to MAGA Cap. What are we going to do with him? So that part was very weird. Just because she just kind of died out of nowhere. And it's like, oh, like, she died in it wasn't even, she didn't get a cool death or anything. She was just dead. And then the coolest thing that happened was like, he carried her dead body with the wings out like an angel. That was it.
That particular scene with Batroc, Sharon and her, they're all three in the base. I guess it's just like a movie thing, like convenience, but like, where is Falcon? And like, I know they were right on their tail and they just got all this time in the world and they don't hear them talking.
They don't hear no gunshots.
Yeah,
they don't hear this conversation. Like, come on, bros.
Just a little nitpick, but I'm like, yeah, okay. But yeah, I thought that was weird.
It's like they have this whole big fight and they save, these hostages. And of course he's flying around like fighting. That the helicopter stuff was really cool. I thought that was really good. I thought the fight with Georgia St. Pierre was actually really good. Like, GSP's just in this, so I mean that's kind of interesting. But I thought those fights were really good. I thought Bucky and all of them were really good, and him saving the truck from falling was actually pretty interesting. But then it's just like they're chasing him through. They're just chasing him through. They're like, you're the power broker. Yeah, pay me more money. And then they'd kill him, and then they just shoot her. And so I was just they have her and Sam argue. She's about to shoot Sam, and then Sharon Carter just shoots her. Like, that's it. There's no big hand-to-hand fist.
Yeah,
I was extremely disappointed by the finale for Carly Morgenthau, because leading up to it, I was like, yo, Carly Morgenthau is low-key goated. Like, she is like we talked about earlier, she's kind of this look into, kind of the post-blip geopolitics whole situation. She's like the character they've kind of chosen out of that to represent that entire kind of 5 years storyline and all that. She's making good points about how they've discarded all these people who, were kind of here the whole time, because all these other people came back. And that's a really interesting kind of thing to dive into, kind of post, people coming back and all of that, because in WandaVision, we're looking at Wanda, who was, kind of there the whole time, and Vision died. Monica Rambeau is a person who like dusted away and then came back.
I thought that effect that we didn't talk about that in the episode, but I thought that effect that they did when they came back and everybody's like, people are just reappearing in this hospital. That was just, I thought that was
dope.
Yeah.
So yeah, we got to see people coming back, and then Carly Morgenthau was like our window into what it was like for the people who never left, kind of outside of Endgame. And I was like, yo, she's the GOAT. Like, she's out here blowing shit up. Like, we are gonna make this shit happen. We are revolutionaries, terrorists, whatever. And then at the end, it's just like,
And then she got killed with a bullet.
Sam won't fight her
with a regular ass bullet.
That was never established for like any reason at all. That Sam wouldn't fight her as she's like kicking his ass. Then she gets shot with a regular ass bullet by Sharon Carter.
Tuned him up.
Like,
I don't want to fight you. Yeah, I wouldn't either.
Yeah, I'll beat your ass. You're just a regular ass dude with some wings on. Like, Wakanda ain't give you that much shit that you can take me. Like, don't get it twisted. Her just getting killed by this regular ass white woman out of nowhere. It was like, this is whack. I don't
also like the whole line. We're gonna talk about it. Yep. What was his sidekick's name? Sorry,
Lamar.
Battlestar.
Yeah. Lamar's life didn't matter.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yep.
I was like, oh, come on, Disney. You're killing
That was really cringe.
You don't have to do that. Like, we get it. You come on.
What was that like the in-game line when they're like, she's got help?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I was like, y'all didn't have to do that. This is the point where I was like, maybe they were right. Maybe y'all are a little too well. Y'all are trying too hard.
I mean, him coming in with the metal shield was hilarious. Just the scrapyard
DIY,
the Hobby
YouTube
Lobby
shield.
He's got getting dented and shit, and they realize when he throws it like it's
he
not
threw
the
that
real
shit
thing.
at Carly. Carly kicked that shit away like it was nothing, bro. I said, "This shield, get this fucking bum ass shield the fuck out of here." That shit was trash.
Fucking
God definitely got hype.
Challenge shield. Like, get the fuck out of here.
Oh man. I just thought that was sort of really uneven, and then of course they don't even fight the other Flag Smashers. They kind of chase him down, Bucky, and this is what I thought was weird, because then they teamed up at the very end after they whooped their ass, and he kind of had a meltdown on live TV. Like, they're just like, all right, so we're good to work again with this guy. Like,
that was so weird.
That
was so weird.
And the fact that they didn't even fight, they just like the Flag Smasher was like, all right,
yeah,
we good.
Y'all got it. Y'all super soldiers too. We can't really do that with y'all.
The
Bucky is sitting there making jokes with this dude. Like, you just broke his arm last week after he killed somebody, and now y'all making jokes together.
Quoting Abraham Lincoln, and you're just like, okay, whatever.
That was such a weird writing decision. I didn't get that at all.
Yeah, I think part of it has to do. I don't know this for a fact, that like the last few of these episodes were filmed post-COVID. Actually, like they were filmed probably like April or May of last year, according to the Wikipedia knowledge. But so I think that some of the stuff it just wasn't as big as maybe they thought they could have gone, just because of lack of. I mean, they still used all of their budget, but I think just lack of maybe safety. Maybe they could have. Some of this wasn't filmed as up to its whole potential, but that obviously was written in the script. So I just thought it was. I just thought it was weird, because it just they have this big old fight and stuff, and then it just ends.
What did y'all think about? And I'm not a comic book person, so I didn't have any knowledge of this character whatsoever before she showed up. But what did y'all think about Julia Louis-Dreyfus's character Val showing up and like helping out U.S. agent?
I thought it was shocking to see Elaine show up in a Marvel property. I think she's gonna be very important. I mean, from what I've read, obviously, I think it's gonna be like the Dark Avengers, where people have said this, where it's Zemo and U.S. Agent and a few other
the Thunderbolts.
Yeah, there's a bunch of other anti-heroes that just go as like mercenaries and kill on America's dollar. So I just think that that'll be interesting to explore. I hope that's more of a series than like an actual movie, because I think Daniel Bruhl is a great actor, but I'm not going to want to see a movie carried by Wyatt Russell quite yet. But we'll see. I mean, he was good in that zombie World War II movie, Overlord, but I just think that I think it was interesting. I think they just get anybody that they want to in these Marvel movies now. It's just like, she's one of the highest paid TV actresses ever. She's a billionaire. And they're
She's
just like,
great
hey,
at that role. She's really good in that role.
Apparently, she was supposed to cameo first in Black Widow, and then obviously Black Widow has been pushed back 1,000 times. So it's gonna be interesting to see.
I thought it was
Mission Impossible with superheroes. Sign me up. I'm in.
Yeah, I thought that was interesting. I think the ending was interesting. Of course, we got to talk about the final real quick before we get into our draft. Got to talk about, well, I guess Black Captain America making a speech in front of the senators in the world. So y'all can speak on that more than I can. I'm not gonna delve into that.
That shit was trash.
Yeah, like I said earlier, I understand the message, what they were trying to do throughout the show with politics and, the way the world is now and all that. But I immediately, like, when I read, I'm like, nah, man, not here. Like, it all felt so, like, I don't know, it was something really weird about it. Like him just in the middle of everything, everybody's just turning like, hey. And then the cameras are there. Like, it was weird. And then I thought, it was Marvel. Like, Marvel always has those moments. Like we've talked about it where you're like, I see what you were trying to pull there, but for some reason it just didn't hit right for me.
I'm gonna tell you what the reason is. It's because Anthony Mackie can't make you believe in the good of the world like that. We talked about this with Wonder Woman 1984 and like Gal Gadot's speech at the end, like, people are good, abandon your wishes, blah blah blah. And it's like, yeah, nah, you can't really be the one to like make me believe that. Like, I've lived too long, I've seen too much. Your corny ass is not gonna make me like think, oh yeah, people are actually good, and like you're right. Chris Evans can do that. Robert Downey Jr. can do that. Like, they have that kind of acting gravitas or whatever. But Anthony Mackie, I like him I like him more than Teej likes him for sure, and more than most people like him, I think. But he's just not the kind of actor that can pull off a speech like that and make you really, really believe it and be like, yeah, I believe in the good of the world. Like we talked about in the Oscars podcast last night. Chloe Zhao gave that speech like after Nomadland won something, and she was like, yeah, people are good. Like, like, it's amazing. The world is like still good. Hold on to all that good. I was like, you are just an amazing person who I love and believe, because you like believe good things about the world, and that's important to me. But Anthony Mackie, you're not doing that.
You don't believe for a second Anthony Mackie believes what he's saying. Like,
even if he believes it, I'm like, you're not gonna make me believe it.
Like a group of senators who are probably the most image conscious people on the planet are not going to sit in front of a news camera and let a black man like talk to them like that. That would never happen. Like, they'll be like, you're not about to, we can have this conversation maybe behind closed doors. Yeah. We damn sure not having this in front of these cameras. So they're going to shut that shit down. They sat there and listened to them talk for like 5 minutes, and they're like nodding their heads like, you're right. You're right. Like, come on, bro. And don't give Anthony Mackie any more long monologues. Why? We don't have to do that. You just did a good job. We believe him as Captain America now. Get this monologue the hell out of here, and let's just move on to, like, we don't have to do this monologue.
If you go back and watch some of the other, like, I mean, they don't really ever have them besides, I think, even Iron Man. Like, even when he announced that he was Iron Man, he just basically said, I am Iron Man.
I am Iron Man.
Yeah, or there's just a few other, like, Captain America is, Steve Rogers is giving those speeches, but it's never that long. It just kept kind of
going. A lot of those moments, yeah.
And there's immediately a joke afterwards, like Ant-Man being like, he's really good at that.
Yeah.
Like,
yeah.
and so there's that, or there's someone to bounce, like Steve and Iron Man or Tony Stark are going back and forth in their arguments. But this, just kept on going. And regardless of what you think of the speech and everything, like, I love the messaging, but it was also sitting there going like, there's just a dead woman right here.
Yeah, it's like literally right there.
Yeah, he said, he like points at her once, like, she died. And you're like,
It's like,
Wait.
oh, she's still laying there. Like,
Yeah.
we're not gonna do anything about it.
Can we extract the super soldier serum from her blood? Or like,
I just thought that was
Because
so.
we ain't got no more.
We
Yeah.
ain't got no more, and we need some more super soldiers.
I just thought that was so like kind of it's kind of funny to me because it's just sitting there. All these news cameras are paying. You know, one of those reporters had to be like, guys, dead woman.
Right there.
Right there.
Yeah.
Middle of my shot. Please move this conversation to the point where there are no dead people.
Yeah, I just love the idea though, Tej, of the senators being like, "Hey, shut the fuck up."
not right now. Like,
Not,
relax.
not here. Not here.
I didn't gentrify my district just to gerrymander my district just to have this go on and lose votes. I don't know. I just think the monologue, while in the right place, could have been executed or shorter, at least shorter. And my whole thing that
Please shorter.
yeah, and my whole thing that I put on Twitter is where the fuck was Spider-Man? Where was he?
You're in New York,
Good
bro.
point.
Like, you know,
This is post blip.
it's
You're not in
friendly
Europe
the
yet.
Neighborhood, like you don't wanna pop out. Like, you can handle Vulture, but you can't handle fucking super soldiers. You just want to fight regular ass dads trying to make a living. You don't want to.
Yeah, because Far From Home is after this, like chronologically in the timeline, I believe, right?
Mhm.
I think
Yeah.
so. Yeah.
Correct.
So that's not where Peter was.
He's just chilling in Queens and just like, I don't want to cross the bridge.
He's just sitting there with Aunt May, like, that's tough.
May, can I go help?
All right. So we are doing that is now Captain America and the Winter Soldier. But
Correct.
so we are drafting superheroes from TV and film. So just our top 4 superheroes from TV and film. I'll be interested to see what Twitter thinks of our choices here. But let's go. Do you have an order, Dex?
Let
I
our
have-
guests go first.
Yeah, I have Deontay, Royden, Tej, Dex.
Okay. So we will get to that draft right after this ad break by Apollo Media. All right. So Deontay, top superheroes from TV or film. Not from the comic books. Don't get mad at us, people in the comments.
Okay.
Not from the comic books.
All right. Oh man. So my first pick, and I'll explain my pick because I know it's gonna get some slander probably. This goes back to my days as a youngin, playing video games and watching cartoons. And the superhero that's synonymous with that is Batman, because cartoons growing up, I mean, it was the animated series. That was like the first hero that was introduced to me, Batman. Had the game on Sega Genesis. I know there's a Twitter account, Batman Slander, which is funny as hell, but
Great Twitter account.
I know. I'm going with the Dark Knight. First of all,
That animated series is great, but like
Man.
if he hasn't changed his tires in a long time, it's going to be a rough day for Batman. If the tread on the Batmobile is worn,
One
he's
flat
gonna.
tire on the Batmobile.
It's a wrap.
Gonna change the fate of Gotham. That's crazy.
Bruce Wayne calling AAA, like, hey, I need y'all. I need you. Change my tire.
I haven't had an oil change in 30 months.
do you know who I am?
Yeah, the
But I'm not gonna lie to you, bro. I love Batman. Like, when I briefly was actually reading physical comics, Batman has some amazing comic stories, and Batman is just like an amazing film and TV shows, the Arkham games,
Yeah, for sure.
and like all of that. The Dark Knight trilogy, obviously, like Batman is dope. It's fun to slander Batman because he's just a regular
Bro.
ass dude.
Bro, every time that Twitter account, I think it was a tweet about him not being able to finish off the Joker and like a clown in some circus shoes or something like that. But that account is hilarious.
Yeah, the Joker just being like dude in Fenty makeup, fucking purple suit. Like, it's fun to get those jokes out, but Batman is an incredible character, so I'm not gonna slander you for that pick.
All right. I got to go, and he's whack, but I got to go with the number 1 most powerful superhero of all time, Superman.
He stinks.
He stinks, but
Kal-El?
can't beat his ass, though.
Kal-El, no.
Can't
I could beat
beat,
his ass if I have one green rock on me.
can't beat his ass though.
Martha.
Superman is so much better.
we went back to back with the Martha.
Yeah.
The Martha Bros.
The Martha Bros.
I'm glad that my goat is on the table for me to pick here at 3. I'm going. I guess I'm going to take the current iteration of Spider-Man, which is going to be the Spider-Man from Civil War, Homecoming, Far From Home. That's my goat. I love.
He got beat up by a
Tom
graphic
Holland,
designer.
the young god.
I love Tom Holland. He's the best Spider-Man. All the Spider-Mans held a special place in my heart, except for Andrew Garfield, who we don't acknowledge. In the animated series too, but I'm always, since I was a kid, Spider-Man was always my favorite superhero. It was the only superhero I really actually sought out comic books for, because I wasn't a big comic book person. I love Spider-Man, so I'm going with Spider-Man.
He got beat up by a graphic designer in a suit.
That's what makes him so cool. He gets beat up, but then he will always win at the end. And his villains aren't even that strong. But
yeah, he's just a kid. So
he's just a kid, so they be whooping his ass, and it works.
He goes to high school with Zendaya, and that's dope. I appreciate that.
All right, Dex.
So I'm gonna take the very corny, normie MCU turn here. I'm gonna go Captain America and Iron Man because those are the two.
Wait, did you you have 2 picks. I was about to be real.
Snake order.
Yeah, snake order. So I'm gonna go Captain America and Iron Man because Iron Man kicked off the MCU and was the backbone of it, to be honest. Obviously he had the big moment in Endgame and all of that. So he's the main guy in the MCU, and he died, and that was really sad. I cried all 3 times, to be honest. But
some malware would take out Iron Man.
Dun, 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 dun.
Malware.
But yeah, I love Steve Rogers as well. I love the first Avenger way more than Roy or anybody else does, probably. And then the Winter Soldier is one of the best MCU movies of all time. I am Steve Rogers Hive. I love all that corny shit. That's America's ass. And I'm glad that they fell to me in the turn.
Real Cap, not fake Cap.
Yeah. No MAGA Cap.
All right. Teach.
I am going with my second favorite superhero of all time, Wolverine from the X-Men animated series. He's just awesome. He's a great character in all the X-Men movies and the standalone X-Men Wolverine movies. He's awesome. Just a great superhero. I'm literally counting down the days until Wolverine's in the MCU and I can die happy. Just let me live long enough to see Wolverine make his appearance in the MCU, and you can take me off the planet. Just let me see that day.
That's gonna be lit.
Very interested to see how.
Wait.
Very interested.
Oh my god, I cannot wait.
Or who they do that with.
I was gonna say who y'all think is
who the
best
fuck is
for that
play
role.
him?
I have no idea. I'm not up to date on younger actors because they got to go with somebody younger because he's definitely going to be
young.
Yeah, he's definitely going to be in there for a long time. But it's just weird not seeing because Hugh Jackman is Wolverine, so it's just kind of it'll be weird. My next pick is also the most powerful Avenger, strongest Avenger, Thor.
Nice.
And he really made a big rebound because they were just the first 2 Thor movies, everybody was like, do we really even care? And then even Infinity War, we were just like, yes. When he showed up in Wakanda, even though those movies stunk, we were just like, oh yeah.
That's the dude.
It's all coming
I was
together.
to realize, even though he had bad movies, we realized that Thor had the star power.
Yeah.
In the Avengers movies, you're like, oh, this guy Thor, he's funny, he's got the star power, the women like the way he looks, but those movies just stink. And they're like, oh, we just got to make the movie funny. Boom. We got a classic.
Yep. One of the best, the funniest MC, one of the best comedies we've said in the last decade.
I love that movie.
Deontay, 2 picks.
All right. Second pick, which would be interesting to see these 2 characters interact. I'm going with T'Challa, Black Panther.
Okay.
Kind of forever holding it down, saying what's up to Bruce Wayne. That would be, man, I that would be a funny ass interaction. But we going with Black Panther with the second pick, man. And then I'm a backdoor with, he's very underrated to me, man. And I wasn't really a comic kind of guy, but watching the MCU, this guy, definitely helped save the universe, and I'm going with Doctor Strange, man.
Okay.
I really enjoyed that movie. The times after I watched it the first time on the rewatch, I enjoy it more and more. And definitely he's gonna be. I'm excited for Multiverse of Madness, man. I'm going with Doctor Strange.
It is crazy.
He saw all the possibilities, man, and he knew it was one.
This is one. I am interested to see how that movie ends up being, because it's supposed to be like a horror movie, but also it has been a long time since that first movie came out.
Wasn't
Yeah,
it
it has
2016, 17?
Something like
somewhere
that.
around there.
It's been a while.
Yeah.
That's just gonna be a horror movie. Sign me up. That's just gonna be amazing. I can't.
It's
wait.
going to be amazing. Shout out to the inventor of all TikTok dances, Doctor Strange.
Yeah. Well, actually, the so on that path, I'm gonna take the Scarlet Witch.
Yeah.
Yep.
You cannot beat my team. I'm just saying you cannot.
And her future is bright in the MCU for sure, because she's about to be bodying shit when she next on screen. I can't wait.
Yeah, y'all can't beat my team. I'm sorry. I got the most power.
I definitely can't beat your team with Wolverine and Spider-Man, because you have Superman and the Scarlet Witch. I definitely can't beat you.
Nope.
I could choose Captain Marvel, and then maybe I'll have a chance, but I don't want to choose Captain Marvel. I'm going. I'm stuck between two here. I'm going to go with another childhood favorite of mine. I'm going to go with The Flash. I love The Flash as a kid. None of those movies are any good. I don't know
Which
if
one
The
are you
Flash has
taking?
ever been. I'm taking the one from the DC animated universe, because that's the only one that's good. The ones in the physical movies have not really panned out yet, but I'm taking The Flash. I love The Flash.
Can reverse time, but he also was just getting his ass whooped in those DC movies, just like
It's literally
tripping
just
and-
reversing time to get beat up in different angles in different directions. But
yeah, and just tripping and shit. Like, ugh. All right, Dex, 2 picks.
All right. So there's a lot on the board still. I'm gonna just play from the heart with my first pick and take Storm from the X-Men series. Yeah, I just love Halle Berry. And just the idea of that character.
Hard to fight that logic.
Yeah. So that'll be my first pick. And then my second pick, let's see. I'm gonna go a little like, I'm just gonna play from the heart. I really like Cyborg in the Snyder Cut, and like his powers are insane. So I'm taking Cyborg from the Snyder Cut.
Again, some ransomware would shut down his whole shit.
Virus.
But you know, he be giving out ransomware. You know what I'm saying? So
Dun, 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 dun.
giving out ransomware, giving out $100,000. Hook me up. Sign me up.
All right, Tej, final pick.
Easy choice for my last one. I'm choosing Blade, the Wesley Snipes version in the films. He's awesome. He's Wesley Snipes. He kills vampires. He cusses. What's not to like?
Facts.
I am choosing Magneto
Nice.
from X-Men Days of Future Past. I mean, he's kind of a villain, kind of a hero, so I think does this work? Are y'all good with that?
Yeah, I will allow it. Fuck it.
All right.
It's midnight.
Oh, dang, man. Mr. Irrelevant. All right, let's end it. Dang. Let's go with the Hulk, man.
Nice.
We know he got pieced up by Thanos in
He
Infinity
really
War.
did. Oh my god.
He caught some
bro.
hands.
He caught the hands. You know, we wanted the rematch. We didn't get the rematch. This is like one of those prospect picks. Like you see the promise. You're just hoping that he can redeem himself down the line in another project. So I'm going on what the potential I see. So I'm going with hope.
Thanos brought the best out of him. It's going to make him better in the future.
Yeah,
it's going to be worth it.
He's going to bounce back, man.
Nah, bro.
He had a tough bowl game, but he's going to be a good pro.
Nah, bro. Thanos gave him that fucking Kamara Usman.
Man.
he caught that work.
And I feel like that tweet comes up like every year. Like, man, y'all remember when Hulk got pieced up by Thanos?
It was just so shocking, bro. Like, if you lose the one-on-one, that's fine. But the way he lost, and then like you just like, no, I'm not fighting him again. Like, I'm done with that.
I remember being in the theaters and like, because Hulk was giving it to Thanos at first, everybody was like, yeah, and then he was like, when I think it was like Ebony Maw or somebody was like saying, like telling everybody to back off. That's when I was like, oh, he finna go in.
He about to cook
did.
this
It was like
bro.
technique, like he was in the ring.
I mean, he was like body,
Yeah.
uppercut, jab.
Boy was in the ring.
Elbow. He got him with a 1-2, and he was shook, and he just
broke this man down like a
broke his spirit, man.
Jesus Christ, off the rip, like.
And then it was Smart Hulk, and Smart Hulk. Nobody gives a shit about Smart Hulk.
You know what was funny? Yeah, that was the other thing. It was like Thanos whooped him so bad, and
he went back to school.
Yeah.
Go home and be a smart man.
Thanos whooped him so bad he went and got his PhD. No, all right. So that is that is our Falcon and the Winter Soldier episode. Deontay, thank you for coming on late, man. We really appreciate it. Where can they find what y'all are doing with Duo Sports and stuff?
Man, so first of all, thanks for having me on. Sorry, my boy Dane couldn't get on, but family stuff with the baby and stuff, telling him no, basically.
How dare he?
How dare he? But yeah, man, we are on Apple, Spotify, all the digital streaming platforms, Duo Sports and Stuff podcast. We literally, our name is what we talk about. We mainly talk football, but occasionally dive into other sports stuff. And we've had some pretty cool guests come on so far. We're like 40 or so episodes in, but we've had some big time sports personalities come on. So check us out, man, if you get the opportunity.
Yeah, y'all's Jay Billows episode was incredible.
Man,
for sure.
he was amazing, man. I love like he was just taking all the jabs at the NCAA. Like
I love Jay Billis, man. I gotta listen to this episode.
Yeah, man. Do it, bro.
Y'all had like Marcus Spears on.
We had Marcus Spears, the big most recently we had Coach Mosley from Last Chance U, the basketball.
Oh wow, nice.
Yeah, man. Master Tesfacian from Bleacher Report. We had Legethro Jenkins, Trey Wingo, Sikkim. So
Sikkim.
Yeah, man.
I forgot you went to Baylor.
Y'all are getting way better episodes than us. We just invite like our Twitter friends to come on. We're just
no disrespect. Like you're one of my Twitter friends, but
hey, no, I appreciate y'all for having me on, man. Like I love because I'm not really the movie kind of guy, but every time y'all drop something MCU wise, I tune in. So I'm thankful that Dex responded to me and let me come on, man. Really appreciate it for sure.
No, I mean, when I say Twitter friends, I mean just like, hey, my friend from third grade wants to come on this podcast. Like you have a podcast and something to promote, but at first it was just like, yeah, my friend from Livingston wants to come on. You know? Like,
some random guy left us a 5-star review. Let's have him on.
Yeah. Bro, do you really like us? Like,
appreciate it. No, but man, that's awesome what y'all are doing over there. Thank you for coming on. We really appreciate it. And so you can go follow us at the One Take Pod. This is the number One Take Pod on Twitter and Instagram. One Take Podcast on YouTube. One Take Podcast on Apple, Spotify, and Google Podcasts. So Teeds, the algorithm's working. Somebody was like, hey, you sound like this dude on this podcast.
I got a text message that says, oh my God, there's this guy on this podcast that sounds exactly like you. And then, of course, she sent me the podcast, and it was me. So the algorithm's working. Make sure y'all rate, subscribe,
download, follow.
Let's keep the movement moving. And thank you for being on, Deontay. We appreciate you, bro.
Already appreciate it, man.
What are we doing?
# support Florence Pugh. And as always, shop Apollo HOU, ApolloHOU.com, promo code OneTakePod, ONETAKEPOD. get 10% off the flyest Houston merch you've ever seen in your life. Like, if you don't like Houston, just buy Apollo merch and support the podcast that way. Just love us. And eventually you can buy One Take Pod merch on ApolloHOU.com. We will eventually make the support Florence Pugh shirts, but y'all gotta listen, rate, subscribe, use
all
the
that
promo code, do all that shit.
I'm definitely confident when y'all do that.
Awesome. Again, thanks for coming on, and we're out. All right.
Sorry I was late, y'all.